Hello my lovely Aquarians, how are you? I hope you had a really cool Christmas. This is Jill, welcome to Tarot by the Sea. Right, this is going to be your reading for January 2018. It's going to take a little while to get used to saying that, and I've just got my fingers caught in my microphone. You'll have to excuse me, my voice is going. I might have to have some tea as I do the reading, because these take a while, and it's 3:10 in the morning and I have been going since 5 o'clock this afternoon, so my voice is starting to go. So January 2018 for Aquarius. As soon as I've done this, I'm going to do your first week of January as well, because this is working really well, doing it that way. I'm going to be using, excuse me, Wisdom of the Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reid, and also the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, and also the Gilded Tarot by Giro Marchetti. Okay, my poor old box is getting battered to bits. Right, so here we go. This is your reading for Aquarius for January 2018. So what can you give me for? It takes a little while to shuffle. If you want to, I will put all the cards out at once and then all the shuffling's done. So if you want to move forward and fast forward, then please do. I know people say, oh well, you know, it takes ages to shuffle. Yeah, it does. It does. You don't have to tell me that, because actually I do the shuffling. So here we go. So it's Aquarius 2018. Actually, I'm going to kind of, while I'm doing this and getting into the cards, I'm going to ask you a favour, okay? Because I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I've said this on all the others as well. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and we have some amazing readers, and they provide a really, really good service, okay, for free. Now, I've been watching some of the readers, and they're getting really upset about negative comments and stuff like that, and people giving thumbs down like months, weeks and weeks before the actual reading's relevant. So it's just like, really? Because how are you going to know that it's not going to be a good reading? Because it's currently the middle of, November, and this is the reading for January. So how on earth are you going to know? We all know general readings, okay? This isn't aimed at you guys, because I haven't had any of that experience yet, and hopefully I never do. I haven't had that experience yet. The people who watch my videos don't seem to be like that, and I'm very, very grateful for that, so thank you. I know there are trolls out there who will just do it for the fun of it. Quite honestly, I don't care, but it does upset people. People put a lot of time and effort into doing these things for free, and it does kind of, it is a little bit much. If a reading doesn't resonate with someone, they should just kind of just say fair enough, because it's a general reading. If they want it to be specific, then they can pay for a specific one. That's the way that this works. If they don't like a particular reader, they don't have to watch them. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got free will, and there are plenty of readers. If you don't like someone, just don't watch them. That's not aimed at you. Again, that's a general thing, because you guys are awesome. But what I'm going to ask you to do, if you can, and if you're willing to, is actually start calling people on this, because it's like, it's not necessary for people to leave nasty comments on readers' channels and stuff. I know some readers, some other readers on YouTube as well, and I've spoken to them, and they've told me some of the comments that they've had, and they've just been like, do you know what, I'm actually fed up, I don't want to do it anymore. And these are really, really talented readers, and I don't want us to lose them. So it would be really good if we could actually start saying, hang on a second, this isn't, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and just say, well, do you know what, this is a January reading, and you're at the end of November, so how on earth do you know? So please, it's a kind of one of these things, like, support your readers. As I say, I haven't had it yet, and I'm very grateful that I haven't. I've just started quite recently, and it would knock my confidence massively to have that. And I haven't had it. All the messages that I've had have been really, really kind and gentle and wonderful. Excuse me, and I really do appreciate that from you. So thank you. So thank you. But if we can support some of the other readers as well, that would be really, really good. Anyway, So that's my little rant over. That's my 2018 is calling people out and going into my Libra phase, going into my Libra mode and just actually calling people out on their nonsense, shall we say, let's put it politely. Right, so that's me. Right, so here's your reading for January 2018. These cards are taking forever. Why aren't these cards coming? Right, you've got regeneration. That fell out and I put it back in thinking it wasn't for you because it's a weird way to start a reading. But let's see how it goes. I'll put all the cards out together and then we take it from there. Whoa. You've got the Y card and then you've got the happy card, and I was like, well, that's interesting. And it was like, you know that song, Because I'm Happy? Yeah, that one. Yeah, sorry, I can't sing. I won't even pretend to. It's hilarious. Ooh, don't like that for an ending. Okay, let's see how that goes. So you've got Clean It Up as the bottom of your deck for this one. Okay. And we will come back to what that means when we know a little bit more about the other cards that are going out. Aquarius, January 2018. Aquarius, January 2018. What just flipped? Oh, that was really weird. Your cards felt like they flipped and I actually didn't. So I'm going to put that Justice card back. That was really odd. Aquarius, January 18. Aquarius, January 18. I'm sorry, I know it takes ages. Yeah, it's interesting. You've got the Nine of Pentacles and then you've got the happy card. And the Nine of Pentacles is basically the independent, kind of financially abundant person, you know? And it's just like, yeah, okay. Oh, looks like you've got 3 cards for that one. Actually, that felt like it was just me being a little bit lazy, to be honest. So I'm going to put those back in. See if they come back out again. I'm getting tired now. I think you're going to have to be the last one. I'm going to do this, and I'll do your weekly, and then I think I'm going to have to go to bed. I'm going to take the Sun card out because, you know, when the cards came out and I said that's me being a little bit lazy, one of the cards that came out was this one, which was the Sun card. Put it back in. Hanging Man came out instead, but now the Sun card's just been on the bottom of the deck again, so I'm going to leave it out because I think it is relevant. Okay, so we have that one, we have that one, we have that one. I can't remember what your last reading was, Aquarius. Oh, by the way, I'm really sorry I didn't get December's readings out. If you've watched me before, you'll know I've had builders in, and you'll know, and I had the girls' birthdays, I had both my daughters' birthdays, and 4 kids' Christmas, do you know what I mean? And then being off school and stuff like that, it was just impossible to actually get these readings out, so I just thought rather than having it banging around continuously, probably best thing to do was just to start fresh with January. So I do apologise. I do apologise. Put those back. Right, these are just the last 3 cards and then we're done, okay? So if you've borne with me all the way through while I've been waffling at you, then that's cool. Thank you. Right, okay, bottom of your deck here. You have the Magician, okay? You are manifesting something. That's awesome. Lots of people are manifesting this month. Pisces are manifesting like, wow, they're just amazing this month. Okay, you have the Two of Cups. Okay, Two of Cups could be the start of a new romantic relationship, could be the start of something emotionally fulfilling. So you have the Magician and then you have the Two of Cups. So you're manifesting something that is emotionally fulfilling for you. the feeling that I get with this is that at the end of your reading, you had chaos and conflict, okay, but your overall energy is the sun. So actually, I think that's your overall energy. I think that's why that's come out. Is actually it's not as bad as it might look when you get to the chaos and conflict bit. And I think it's more about cleaning it up. Okay, it's actually more about kind of resolving the chaos and conflict than it actually is having chaos and conflict. So whatever's been going on for you, you're working with other people, I think. You've got the orphaned card here, which could be you, it could be someone else, and you've been thinking about it. Yeah, you've taken some time out here, and now things are starting to resolve, and this is what we have. And now you're co-creating with somebody else to clean it up. Okay, that's the feeling that I get from that. So I think that's where that came from. Right, so here we go with your reading. Anyone talks about my tubbiness, yeah, you try being my age and sitting like this and having had 4 kids and try and look glamorous, because it ain't going to happen. So, okay, right, so we have regeneration. So you're the magician, you're manifesting something, which is potentially, you know, which is emotionally fulfilling for you, possibly after this period of contemplation, being left out in the cold, being orphaned, feeling that sorrow and stuff like that, and you're actually starting to manifest now. And it is this regeneration, okay? You are regenerating. You've been in a really kind of weird place, and you've actually regenerated. And you've looked at your options, I think, or they're asking you to look at your options, because you have the Emperor. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized, be a firm but compassionate leader. And I think this is what it's saying. It's saying, you know, use your logic and structure and get organized, and then basically you're manifesting whatever it is that you want to manifest. And you have lots of options, okay, but you need to be clear in yourself what it is that you're trying to manifest during this period of time. We have got flexible, okay. Now flexible is, it's a 10 card, it's a 1 and a 9, okay, and it's that kind of potential period between, it's kind of like the Fool card to a certain extent, okay. I know it's a 1 and a 9, so it's a 10, so it's kind of like, it can be the end of something or the beginning of something, but my feeling at the moment is this is like the Fool card, where you have the potential in the middle, you have your past, you have your future, and you're kind of in the present, but you've got potential there, and you're focusing on the potential. You haven't actually started to manifest yet. And it's saying that you have what it takes if you believe in you. It's the 8 of Winter, which is the 8 of Swords. I've got it written down here because they use spring, summer, autumn, winter rather than the same suits as in the tarot, and my memory's rubbish. Okay, so you have what it takes if you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless and you're not. A lack of self-confidence that stops you from getting what you want. And this is why you're in this space. This is why you're in this kind of like looking at the potential, focusing on the potential, but actually you're not moving forward quite yet because you have this lack of confidence, and you need to believe in yourself in order to get to this point where you are the 9 of Pentacles. But what you're being told during this reading is that not only do you have the Magician card, but you're regenerating into the Emperor, okay? And the Emperor is basically someone who is like, can rule the entire world. And you have that much potential, and you have options, but you just need to decide what they are. You need to decide what it is that you want in order to manifest whatever is going to make you emotionally fulfilled and happy, okay? You're being offered opportunities. I mean, we've got the 4 of Cups underneath that. Okay, so you're being offered an opportunity. You may not be interested in some of the stuff that's being offered to you. You have all these pentacles. You have all these choices. You may not be interested in some of the stuff that's being offered to you, but things are being offered to you, and it's your decision to move forward, right? You need to move forward. You need to take that action, and you've got a decision to make, yeah? But you're kind of blind to what that is at the moment. And again, you know, you've come out of this orphan thing, and you're coming out of this space of the 9 of Wands where you were overburdened and everything else, and now you're actually starting to reap the benefits. And funnily enough, when I said to you about this flexibility card as feeling like the Fool, there you go, you have the Fool. there as your next card. All right. So, and it's like, why is this happening? Because what you're saying is like, you have this, you're thinking you're powerless when you're not, and things like that. And maybe you're actually thinking that some things, I wonder if we're going to get at some point, whether we're going to get the to be fair card, or the kind of not the justice card. God, really, I'm tired. Judgment card, yeah, the justice card, the Libra card, because you have why. Okay, you have why as your next card. And maybe you're thinking that something's been quite unfair, you know. It's like powerful, intuitive epiphanies. You have the moon. The moon's about secrets. It's also about water signs, so it could be something to do with the water sign. Powerful, intuitive epiphanies, letting go of worry and fear, and understanding the truth of the situation. So you're starting to get more clarity. And we had the Nine of Pentacles the Nine of Wands in reverse, and we also have the Six of Swords, which is moving away to calmer waters, taking your lessons with you. The worst of it is behind you now. In the Nine of Swords, she has, in the Nine of Wands, he is still holding on to this. He's holding on to this thing that's important to him. Okay, so he's still holding on to one wand. Or one goal or whatever. She's holding on to one too, and all these things have been left behind, but she's taking her lessons with her. If you think about the Ten of Wands, it's basically being overburdened. He's carrying burdens, but with these, the swords are ideas and things like that, so she's taking her lessons with her. Okay. In some readings it basically says that, you know, they're taking the baggage with them, but I like to think of any baggage that we have that comes from these situations that we were in as lessons. They're the things that we learn. You know, we go through these things for a reason, and that's basically what's happened, and you're taking that with you. Okay, so you're coming out of all that. You've basically got, you know, you're the magician now. And it's like you have this potential, these eggs to me are potential, to be really, really happy, to be genuinely really happy, you know, and to have a really good security. This is a foundation card, okay? It's not the Ten of Cups, it's the Four of Wands. It's not the Ten of Cups, it's not the Full House, okay? It's not the Full House with the happy family and happy partner and happy this, that and the other, and the emotional kind of the emotional security and the financial security and all those kind of things. It's not that yet, but you're getting there. You're starting to build something. You have the potential to be happy, and you're starting to build. Okay, you're getting there. Then you have the Three of Winter, which is the Three of Swords. Okay, and it says, reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from this situation. Sadness will heal in time. So maybe you are still feeling that sadness. Maybe that's why you're still not quite moving forward yet, because you're still feeling sad. But the sadness will heal in time. Okay, you have family in this card. All right, you have other people around you in this card. This lady, she's the independent kind of, you know, financially abundant lady, in her garden and appreciating all the things that she has and things like that. And maybe that's what you're aiming for. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's what you're aiming for. She doesn't have to be single. She can be part of a partnership, but actually have her own independence at the same time. So quite possibly you're heading towards that. But at the moment you may still be feeling this pain. Okay, you may still be feeling this pain, and it's saying reach out to other people, and other people will support you, and this is supported by this. Okay, you have other people there to support you as well. It could be family, it could be friends. I'm not seeing any sign at this point of a partner, but as we were saying earlier, it's general reading, so it you know, there are loads of different storylines that can come out. I'm sure that there are a million storylines that could come out for different readers, and that's kind of what happens. So yeah, so you have this sadness that will heal with time, and then you have mending. Yeah, and for some of you this might be communication that's happening. That little kind of line there is like communication. Okay, and it's mending. You know, there is the mending going on. It could be to do with children because you have family, and then you also have these 2 children in this card as well, and you also have a little boy in that card as well. Okay, the 7 of Autumn, which is the 7 of Pentacles. Just have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. A prudent investment of money, of time or money. Okay, there's no rush to run into all of this. Okay, you need to take the time. You have got, you know, you have got the Magician, you have got the Emperor, you have got the potential to manifest all of these things. But there's no need to rush through it. One of the other cards that you had was about planning, I think. I can't remember where it is now, but I'm sure that you had one about planning. And it's like, don't try and rush into this, okay? Don't try and rush into healing even, because, you know, you need to take the time, you need to amalgamate the lessons that you've learned, and you need to take them with you. So you need to understand them. So there is an element of going inside, talking to other people, getting support from other people, just letting yourself heal. Okay, and again, it's like, don't have patience, don't worry, take time to rest and plan your next step. And then the other card that we have that goes with this is the Hanging Man. Okay, so it's just taking that period of time. It's like, we have a 10 and we have 2, yeah, and the 2 is basically, you know, the 1 is the opportunities being presented to you, the 2 is taking that first action, that first decision towards it. So something has ended and now you are starting to move forward and you're at the 2 stage. Okay, so just take some time and just kind of let it happen. You have chaos and conflict, which is a 3 and a 3. Okay, but you're balancing after it. Things, which card was it? There was something about having clarity as well. Yeah, it's underneath. It's powerful epiphanies, letting go of fear and worry, understanding the truth of the situation. You have chaos and conflict, okay, but what's happening in this card is that the false kind of interpretation, yeah, this is meant to be a zebra. I mean, you can see by the shape of it, it's meant to be a zebra, but it has giraffe kind of colouring. But that's starting to fall away now, so you're actually seeing the truth of the situation. And remember, this is all kind of covered by the sun, which makes everything better. So regardless of how you're feeling, the sun is there, so you're starting to kind of come out of it, and you're actually feeling okay at this point. Then you have the Prince of Autumn, which is the Prince of Pentacles, okay, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And it says cautious, dependable, protective, chivalrous and humorous. Cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail and kindness to others. Maybe this is someone that's helping you, or maybe this is just reiterating again. Maybe if you've got Earth in your chart, maybe this is just reiterating again the point of just like kind of being cautious in your action and just thinking it through before you move forward. Taking that Hanging Man, taking a different perspective and just having a think about things. Then you have the 8 of Swords, which is really interesting because it doesn't really feel like it should still be there. Because you had the being trapped. Yeah, you have what it takes, you believe in yourself, thinking you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you getting what you want. And you have this as the 8 of Swords, so that's you feeling trapped about this. That's you feeling trapped about this. So what are we going to use to clarify? I'm going to clarify that because what we don't want at the end of the month is we don't want you still being trapped in that space. Okay, we don't want that for you. You have the chaos and conflict you're still not seeing. But I think maybe this is the advice card, because in this card it's like she's trapped in her head because she can't see. And she can't see the truth of the situation because this is a zebra but it looks like a giraffe, okay? And it's kind of saying throughout this month you're actually going to be moving away from that and you are going to start seeing the clarity of the situation. Although you may still be trapped in that 8 of Swords, you starting to become aware of the fact that you can take that blindfold off and you can actually free yourself from it. And you are the Magician. I mean, once you actually realize this, maybe this is what it is. Maybe you need to understand that. maybe you're going to stay trapped in this Eight of Swords until you understand that you are the Magician. You can, you know, you have the potential to be the Emperor, and you do have options, and that you do have what it takes, and you've just got to believe in yourself. And until you actually see that, you're still going to be trapped in this, but there may be someone who's helping you to get out of it. That you still may be in this hanging man stage because you haven't quite come out of it yet. But you're starting to feel better. You're starting to feel better. For some of you it might be illness, because we've just had the healthy lifestyle card come out. Okay, and it says eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep and exercise regularly for optimal health. So maybe for some of you it's been an illness, you know, that's been quite debilitating for you. But you're on the mend. You are on the mend. You have the Sun card, you have the Magician, you had the Emperor. So you are getting there, but towards the end of the month you're still not quite in that space yet, where you're kind of starting to see that you can have your freedom. And what the reading's trying to say to you is that once you get out of that space, things will be very, very different for you. Counselor, you're a natural counsellor. Many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So perhaps that's you. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. Perhaps you need to get into that. Maybe that's where you need to go, is looking at doing a different career. Excuse me, my throat is just crazy. So maybe for some of you it's that. Maybe you are looking at new career change, but you're not entirely sure yet. For some of you, you may have been ill, but you're getting to the point where you're starting to feel better. So let's have a look. But whatever it is, you are the Magician, okay? You are the Emperor. You are all of these things. You have the Sun. You have the power to manifest. You just need to get yourself into a space to do that. Right. Where are we? Let's put these cards away and we'll pull you another set. Okay. And then after that I'm going to do your weeklies, and then I'm going to bed because it's getting very late. I kind of expected to have another 2 days to do this, and then actually my children are coming back tomorrow, so they decided they wanted to come home early, which is really nice, but it does mean that I have to get all these readings done really quick now. Right, so let's have a love reading for Aquarius for for January 2018, please. Can I have a love reading for Aquarius for January 18, please? Love for Aquarius, January 18, please. Love for Aquarius, January 2018, please. Time for a nap. Building blocks. What's coming out on the top today? Right. Love reading for Aquarius, January 2018, please. You can fast forward again through this. I know it's no fun for you to watch. I kind of waffle on to try and, you know, fill the space, but actually I know it's no fun to watch. Oh, you have this orphaned again. So, Aquarius 2018. Oh my goodness, this time they did flip. Love for Aquarius, January 2018, please. Love for Aquarius, oh, there we go. Not sure. Well, okay, let's do that. If you've watched me before, you know that if I get cards in reverse, I kind of read them both ways. So for some people, it's kind of like an either or. Yeah, it's like an either or. Some people will do it this way, some people will do it the other way. And that's kind of a bit of a turning point. Look, we've got that chaos and conflict card on the bottom again. So you're starting to see things as they are in the love department as well. So, love for Aquarius, January 2018. Love for Aquarius, January 2018. Oh my goodness, that's rough. Love for Aquarius, January 2018. Three of Pentacles. Tower just fell out. We'll see if it comes back out. Yeah, it's on the top again. We'll see if it comes back out. Who just had a tower? Virgo had a tower at the end. On theirs. I think it's on their monthly. So if you're dealing with a Virgo, I think they had the Four of Swords in the same place as you as well. No, they didn't. They had the Four of Swords, but I don't think it was in the same place. Ooh. You've got the Ace of Cups on the bottom, you've got the Three of Cups, and you've got the Two of Cups. So, Aquarius. Oops, daisy. January 18. January 2018. Aquarius, January 2018. I did get these. I might do you extra love readings this month, because look what I bought myself for Christmas. If you haven't seen the readings with those in, they are amazing readings. They're fantastic cards. They really are fantastic cards, and they're lovely to work with. But they can, some of the imagery is a little bit like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I hadn't seen the whole deck, and I was quite shocked when I opened them, in fairness. Beautiful cards though. Absolutely beautiful cards. Six of Summer. Release. Yeah. I think you know where this is going, guys. You're letting go of things. Okay. The wheel. Right. Okay, so on the bottom of this deck, on the bottom of the Oracle deck, you have Chaos and Conflict, which you already just had, which we already talked about, okay? At the bottom of this deck, you have Life Experience, let go of your belief systems that no longer work for you, an important life-changing event, a situation which leads to significant opportunities, okay? So that's the 16 card. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So, this is your love reading for January 2018. So, time for a nap. So, you're taking some time out, okay? And it's actually reiterated by the fact that you have the Four of Swords underneath here, which is really interesting as well. So, you're obviously just taking some time out. You're looking back. You are looking back on the past. This is Six of Summer, which is the Six of Cups. You're looking back on the past. It says children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they actually occurred. So you might be taking some time out. You might just be hanging out with your kids. You might be thinking back to past relationships. You might have this person coming back from the past because you have the Prince of Spring, okay, which is the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay, so you may have this person come back from the past, and it says immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. They might be coming back, but you might actually just be, you know, because it says someone coming back from the past. But it might actually just be that you're just thinking about this person because you have the time for the nap card. And I don't think you would have time for a nap if you had this Knight rushing in really quickly, okay? You have the Three of Pentacles there, and with the Three of Pentacles, the way that I'm reading it tonight, energies change over time, and the Three of Pentacles to me is like there are other opportunities there, but you're still kind of focused on this one, so maybe you're still looking back, you know, and reminiscing about this Knight of Wands. Charming, self-confident, passionate, restless, all those kinds of things. Maybe you're still thinking about that person, and maybe you're not quite ready to move on yet because you do have this Four of Swords. Now what's really interesting is that actually, okay, you've ended up with your cards moving over, so, you know, so then you have this building block. So you're taking time out, but you're starting to rebuild, okay? You're starting to rebuild, and you're starting to kind of feel a little bit more confident about yourself. If you look at this card, it always looks like a bit like a fashion model, okay? And it's just like you're feeling a little bit more confident about yourself. You're at a 10 stage, because it's a 2 and 8, that card, so it's at a 10 stage. So you're actually getting towards the end of this. This is kind of the end of it. You've built the first part of it, okay, and now you're ready to move on to the next part. But at the moment, up until this point, you've just been taking some time out. Then you've been feeling this orphaned feeling, okay. For some of you, I know, for some of you it's like third-party relationship, okay. For some of you it's not. For some of you, you were feeling orphaned. You've just had this, you've been celebrating with family and friends over the holidays. You've had a nice time, and you're actually starting to feel better. You're letting go of the past, okay. You have the release card, which is number 13, an ending that makes way for new opportunities and time to move on. So for some of you, over Christmas, you've just taken some time out. You might still be thinking about this person, but actually you're ready to move on now. You've had a nice time with your family and your friends over Christmas. You're actually starting to rebuild again, and you're feeling better, okay. That's for some of you. And you're realizing that not all that glitters is gold, okay. Maybe someone was wearing a mask in this. Maybe it was all shiny and beautiful and everything else, but actually it turned out that it wasn't all that, and it was all fake. So that's possibly true. For some of you, you actually had this. For some of you, you did actually have this, and it says being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity. Maybe you missed it. You have the 4 of Summer, which is the 4 of Cups. So if you think about it in the original tarot deck, you have like this opportunity being presented, and this person sitting under the tree or whatever, and they're not interested in it. So maybe you were so busy doing something else, but it's kind of that, and you're kind of understanding that now, and you're kind of just like, okay, maybe you were taking someone for granted, maybe someone was taking you for granted, and you actually decided to end it. You called a day to it, okay. Maybe you were doing it to someone else, and they decided to end it and call a day to it. So maybe that is, but you're letting go of the past. You're actually moving forward now, which is really good and really healthy, and I'm pleased. For some of you, you may feel this person is a soulmate. Okay, soulmates are there to teach us something. They're not there forever. A lot of them aren't there forever, okay. We have lots of soulmates. They're there to teach us something, and perhaps this person did, and perhaps you won't go through it again. You have the Strength card, okay. You're strong. Maybe it's something to do with a Leo as well. So you have that. For some of you, you have the 10 of Autumn, so you have the 10 of Pentacles, okay. In the normal tarot deck, it's like the 10 of Pentacles is like the ultimate in financial kind of, or fulfillment in the kind of financial, the physical aspect of life. So you have the 10 of Cups, which is the emotional fulfillment. This is actually fulfillment kind of on an all-round level. So you have the financial security, you have the stability, you have all of those material things, not just material, but like the family and everything else, because it's all there. So it says, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honouring family traditions. Perhaps with some of you, perhaps this was a marriage that you're letting go of, and now you're actually having to think about, that would explain why you're thinking back about kind of children and that kind of thing. Perhaps your money has been massively depleted because you're having to pay out, for child support and things like that, and 2 houses and all this kind of stuff, which, when breakups happen and there are children involved, this is what happens. And unfortunately, that's the situation. But it could be affecting you quite badly. So you have the Strength. You may have thought this person was a soulmate. It may have been a third-party situation because you have an argument between 3 people, or an argument about 3 people, or and it doesn't, you know, third party doesn't always have to be like a romantic relationship. It could be someone else stepped in the way. It could be like a family member or someone like that who's interfered in the situation. And you have that, and you have the Two of Cups. For some of you, I am hoping that this might be because you have the Ace of Cups and then you have the Two of Cups. I'm hoping that might be an opportunity for reconciliation here. The Two of Cups is actually the soulmate card too. When you read a lot of in readings, it can be the soulmate card too. So you have these two cards together. It could be this is a soulmate relationship, and it might be that there is an opportunity for some of you to reconcile with this soulmate. Okay, maybe, you know, this is the opportunity, this is making the decision. So for some of you, there might be that reconciliation, or you're hoping for a reconciliation. But I'm not actually seeing that it's actually hope. I'm not seeing that it's hope. And there's nothing here to indicate that it might be. Letting go of a belief system that no longer works for you, an important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. Quite possibly, this actually is a genuine kind of opportunity for reconciliation. So fingers crossed for you. There's the Strength card, okay, and that's basically like holding it together. Particularly if you're dealing with a Leo, it might be quite possible that actually, you know, you look at this lady and she's, you know, she's walking with this beast, and you know they're together and stuff. So maybe this is where you're going. Ten of Autumn. That's really interesting. You have, perhaps there was no communication between you, okay? Perhaps there was no communication, nobody was opening up emotionally. But then you have the Six of Wands, which is basically, it's, excuse me, success and triumph. Okay, it's being acknowledged. So being acknowledged is basically, you know, someone is acknowledging you. And then you have the wheel turning in your favour. This is quite a triumphant card as well. So you have that, and then you also, on the bottom of the deck, you have the Victory card, okay? And then you have the Star card, and then you have the Ace of Swords. So I'm hoping that for some of you there is this kind of reconciliation. It's not going to apply to everybody, but for some of you, hopefully this is the situation, is that actually there will be a reconciliation. You will be able to have this Triumph card and the Five of Swords as well, which is also the Triumph card. So hopefully we will have some of that going on for you in January. Right, I am going to do your first week of January readings, and so I will see you in about 5 minutes. Okay, bye bye.